Art and Revolution. We are here with the art activist Trey Wilkes, and we're going to get right into his interview because I know he has some amazing things to tell me. This is my boy Trey. Welcome to Art.
What's up? I'm so happy to be here right now. Oh my God.
Wow, like it's so weird to interview because like we see each other all the time at events. So let's talk about who you are and what you do.
Man, all day, every day, I'm just an artist. I do all forms of art, but my main media is like oil painting or figurative painting. I like to paint stories. I grew up looking at a lot of Renaissance artwork, and so I just fell in love with the drama and the storytelling and the narration process of it. And so most of my works are based off things that we go through in the Black community and the justice system, but it's crafting it in a way that is beautiful, but it's also real. You know, I feel that art is the best vehicle for truth telling. And so what better way to tell the truth than to do like paintings, you know, based off real stories and like try to get people to interact and learn from it. You know, my focus is that when a person leaves my painting, that they've learned something that they didn't know.
Wow. So, wow. I'm sorry, because it makes me. I'm going back and thinking about some of your work, and there are a couple of pieces like, and you do large work that makes you stand out in the community. What inspired you to go big as opposed to working on, say, tinier canvases? What inspired you to work large?
So when I lived in DC, I used to go to the art galleries all of the time, right? You had the National Museum of Art and you had the National Portrait Gallery. And I love seeing how big they were, right? You got these big stories, right? And none of them was ever Black, right? Like if you saw a Black person, they was like in the shadow, you know, holding a little, you know, thing or whatever. And so I'm like, man, if I got the skill to go big, why not just go big and go big fast, right? And because when you go into these bigger gallery spaces, they have high walls and high ceilings. And the more that you can fill up, the more appealing you are as an artist. And then also, I just like putting Black bodies on like, you know, just grand scales. And so that's why I go big.
Wow, that's really, really great that you talk about putting Black bodies on grand scale, because it's not something we see. Like the visual of seeing Black bodies on grand scale. So what's your favorite piece that you've worked on so far?
Man, I got a lot of tough pieces. Man, probably the piece after my little sister got murdered, actually. So my little sister got murdered August 19th in Maryland. And at this time, I was on my art activism tour where I was going city to city, painting pictures in like public spaces and getting people to have conversations. At this particular time, I had a showing at the university that I graduated from, Harding University down in Arkansas. And so I'm there, you know, we're setting up the show and everything, and then I get a phone call from my dad. You know, he's just crying, you know, he can't even talk. And he's like, man, they got my baby. And I'm like, oh man, like, I didn't know what to do. Already, I was going to do a piece about like race on race hate, right? And so at that time, it was just a great time to do that piece because I was going through like so much. And it's basically, I took a piece from like the story of David and Goliath, right? And it was just like this cool composition of like a guy holding a sword with like Goliath's head. And so basically I used that composition and I did like, you know, this Black guy holding up this head, and in the back of it, it said Black lives really don't matter. But then at the bottom it said, let's change this. And then it has like my little sister's name in it, and then it has like a stat of like Black on Black crime, right? So like most of the stats you read is like 95 to 97% of Black people are killed by other Black people. Right. And so because I had that such of a like real experience of doing that, that's probably like my favorite piece.
Wow. So where can we see your work, and where can we purchase it?
You can purchase it by calling me or emailing me. I don't have an online store right now. I'm working on it. I had it up for a while, then I took it down to do some stuff. But you can catch me at www TreyWilkes.com. That's TREWILKES.com. I do not have a Facebook, and I am not on Instagram, so you can't catch me there. But I am about to start like some webisodes.
That's really, really, really awesome. Do you have your work commissioned or hanging anywhere around Greensboro where folks can see it?
Oh, do I have anything around Greensboro? I have a couple pieces around Greensboro. I have one in a barbershop that I just dropped off to this guy one day. I was like, hey, here's a piece. I have another piece at an elementary school.
Okay.
I have a piece at Urban Grinders right now, just chilling up because it was too big to put in the house. It's like over 10 feet tall. I have that there. And other than that, my car is like a walk-in piece of art. You know, I let people sign my car, and it's only like 2 rules. It either has to be positive or it has to be your name.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'll have to get my paintbrush and come out and sign your car. Well, thank you for coming through. But before we leave, Trey, I know you're an art activist, so I know you prepared for this question. How is your art revolutionary?
I mean, all art is revolutionary, right? And everything that we see, do, and interact with is propaganda, right? And so my art is revolutionary because it's true, and it's also I'm not afraid to have people be scared, mad, or anything, because that's what it takes for us to get to the next level, right? There's never a peaceful revolution, right? Revolution comes with a lot of, blood, sweat, tears, angriness, frustration, bitterness, all of this. And so the way that I paint my pieces and the way that I introduce these stories is so that people can have a raw emotion to it. Now, I don't want people to go out and just start burning up stuff and looting, nothing like that, but I do want us to look at what our ancestors did, like let's look back at, the late 1800s and the early 1900s and figure out how at this time of right after slavery and then Jim Crow, they made this thing happen for us. So
that's awesome. Y'all, did y'all listen to that? Did y'all hear that? Make sure you're paying attention. Reach out to Trey. He gave you his website, which is www.treywilkes.com. Reach out to him. Commission some art, y'all. That support Black artists. That's buy local. That's buy Black. This is Lavinia with Art and Revolution, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.